Greetings everyone, Phil here from Nintendo Village, and in this video we're going to be talking about why you should absolutely buy Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury when it arrives on Switch next February, and why it's a strong contender for the best 3D Mario ever. The game is the latest in a long line of Wii U ports, with what was arguably Mario's biggest release on that system making its way over to Switch with a bunch of extra content and some quality of life changes in tow. The 7 or 8 of us who actually bought a Wii U pretty much all picked this up on Nintendo's last system too, with only Mario Kart 8 topping it in the sales charts for that console software. So if you're one of the literally billions of people who didn't buy a Wii U and want to know what all the fuss is about, or if you just want a reminder of how great the game really is, this is the video for you. Thanks for joining us, I hope you enjoyed the video and find it useful. Do hit that like button if you do, and consider subscribing to the channel as we have new videos up just like this every single week. Without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, and you may have worked this out from the various trailers and so on, but 3D World isn't the same sort of 3D setup you might be used to from Super Mario Odyssey. That game threw you into open sandboxes where you could run around in all sorts of directions, hunting down power moons and pulling an assortment of snazzy platforming tricks to reach hidden areas. 3D World, on the other hand, is much more linear in setup, with each stage having a dedicated start point and a classic flagpole for you to run, jump and pipe your way to. In this regard, it actually feels closer to the new Super Mario Bros. Series than something like Odyssey, but with the added freedom and challenge of a 3-dimensional path to the goal. What's great about this though is the creativity it apparently unleashed within Nintendo's level designers. Not that the new Super Mario Bros. Games have been totally devoid of ingenuity, but 3D World has some of the most inventive level design I think I've ever seen in a Mario game. Things are fairly straightforward in the early part of the game, but even when it's not challenging you directly, it's packed full of things that make you go, huh, that's so cool. As you approach the endgame though, and particularly if you tackle the bonus stages after the final scrap with Bowser, you'll regularly be turning the air bluer than Mario's overalls as the game stops pulling its punches and demands you platform like a pro. There's honestly so many cool ideas, but the best thing is the game doesn't dwell on them. It's quite happy to have a singular stage based around a really cool concept and then, at the end of that level, move on and never revisit the idea again. It's constantly throwing new and unique and creative ideas at you, and that's what makes it so good. All those excellent stages are packed with, and indeed often centre around, the host of power-ups on offer too. As well as your classics like the Fire Flower, it also gives you brand new ones like the Double Cherry, the Cat Bell, and the Cannon Box, which turns Mario's Bonce into a big square killing machine. Of course, the Cat Bell is the big focus, with Catsuit Mario and his feline outfitted friends able to swipe at enemies and run up walls amongst other things. You can naturally get to the end of any level without using any of these tools, but if you want to track down all of the green stars and other secrets, you're going to need to use all of these power-ups in cool and creative ways. I was really motivated in 3D World to go and track down all of the green stars and all of the stamps and everything in a way that I hadn't really had been since, well, Super Mario Sunshine really. Did I 100% Galaxy? I don't know if I ever did. The point being, it's really compelling and offers plenty of replay value if you want to uncover and unlock everything the game has to offer. Speaking of added replay value, the multiplayer in 3D World is arguably the best multiplayer Mario experience that doesn't involve a kart, a sport, or a party of some sort. And the addition of online multiplayer in the Switch release should allow even more people to give it a whirl, especially whilst we're all stuck indoors. Then of course there's the Bowser's Fury edition, which we finally got a little more info on earlier this week. Weirdly, it seems like a bizarre love child of 3D World, Super Mario Odyssey and Wind Waker, with Mario running around a totally open batch of islands, much like Odyssey, and travelling from one to the other via his old pal Pletty. I'm actually really excited to see how 3D World's mechanics translate to this bigger open space, and can't wait to check out all of the undoubtedly surprising and inventive ways they've been able to adapt Mario's power-ups and moveset to this sandbox style setup. Before we come to the conclusion, there is one other thing that I want to mention about why 3D World is one of my favourite Mario games. If you own a Switch and like your puzzle games, you may well own a copy of Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. It too began life on the Wii U before getting a port over to the Switch with a few extra bells and whistles. It's so much fun spinning those dioramas around, tracking down the secrets, and completing each of those stages. That's exactly what Nintendo thought anyway, because if you've never played 3D World before or don't know much about it, you might not be aware that Captain Toad actually got his start here, and those diorama levels are precisely what inspired his dedicated spin-off game, the concept having first shown up as individual stages in 3D World. They were a real highlight of the game and a cool change of pace, so it's no wonder Nintendo decided to make an entire game from the concept. So if you're a Captain Toad fan and want more of that, 3D World's got you covered. The bottom line is, 3D World is one of the most charming, inventive Mario games out there, and if you're in the vast majority of people who didn't own a Wii U but now have a Switch, you owe it to yourself to give the game a whirl. And if you did own it the first time around and are trying to decide whether to double dip, let me reassure you that you'll be glad you did, especially if, like me, you haven't really played the original since it released back in 2013. The Bowser's Fury edition looks great, plus Mario moves a lot quicker now, which is good. I didn't realise how slow the original felt until I went back to capture footage for this video and, well, you can see the comparison. Oh, and one more thing, thanks to the new invincibility power-up, this will be absolutely perfect for younger gamers, as they'll be able to find their way to the end of each level and progress without having to worry about dying. Lovely. Thanks for watching everyone, let me know down in the comments if you're looking forward to 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and let me know if you enjoyed this video. If you did, we've got tons of other cool stuff here on Nintendo Village, plenty of Mario stuff, plenty of non-Mario stuff. Go and check some of those out, and do consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with all of our weekly uploads. Don't forget to check out thenintendovillage.com for more Nintendo news, reviews, features, podcasts, and all that cool stuff. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you all next time.